Then, okay. Okay, so welcome again, and thanks for participating today in the new edition of the Water Innovation Networking Days. The Winning Days is an initiative that the water cluster from France, Aquanova and Aquavale, also from the Netherlands Water Alliance, and CINAE from Spain launched in 2021. The objective was to do a matchmaking event that allows water stakeholders to have one-to-one meetings and explore cross-border opportunities for collaboration. This edition but is special because it is organized in the framework of the EU Green Week that this year is about the 3 Cs: clean, competitive, and circular. And this Winning Days is a partner event of the EU Green Week. And also it's very special because it's organized through the collaboration between different EU water initiative because we are collaborating with Water for All partnership. Water for All is the water security for the planet, and we will have Benjamin Lopez, the CEO of Water for All, later making a presentation, and also Marcos Garcia that from Water for All presenting some of the work of this EU partnership. And also is special because it's the collaboration between 2 European funded projects, Water Smart Connect, that is project approved from a European Innovation Ecosystem Call, and Scott Allison will present the project results later, and CircInWater, that is an Eurocluster project that is working also about water and circular economy. My name is Marisa Fernandez. I'm the cluster manager in CINAE, that is a regional water cluster in Spain, in the northeast of Spain, and I'm the CircInWater project coordinator. And then, so both projects, Water Smart Connect and CircInWater, are supported by SMEA. Now the 2 projects are really close to the end. For this, I want to say a big thanks to our policy officer that helped us a lot with the development of the project. And thanks especially to Nikelina and Zoran for their support. What we are going to find today in the Winning Days. So then we have first 2 sessions. The first session, the first part, we are going to have a round table where we will present the results of the project, the innovation project that are being funded thanks to the cascade funding of the CircInWater project. And in the second project, and after 5 minutes break, we will have a second session where we are going to see funding opportunities to keep developing this initiative or other water innovative solutions. And we will finish later with presenting what are the results and the next step of the 2 projects, Water Smart Connect and also CircInWater project. And finally, our colleague Riz Cinema from Water Alliance will present the Bit2Match tool to promote these one-to-one meetings that are promoting for these Winning Days. So then we start already with the round table that is seeing the innovative solutions targeting CircInWater challenges, because CircInWater, this is this Eurocluster that was supporting the European SMEs to bring water smart solutions to market. They were focused in 2 industrial ecosystems, the agri-food and the energy-intensive industries, and we were developing 3 services for the SMEs, financing the innovative innovation project, the innovation lump sum, also funding the support of experts and trainers with the knowledge lump sum, and supporting also some activities for the internationalization of the SMEs. So then, but we are going to focus in the result of the innovation lump sum. We will start with the first part with one of the challenges that was reducing water risk for agri-food and energy-intensive industries. And then for that, we have the first presentation. We will have the project Aqua, but where Emmanuel Guglielmino from Advanced Microturbines will do the presentations. So please, Emmanuel, the time is yours. Emmanuel, you are there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here, yes. Hello.
Okay, hello. So then we start, okay?
Okay, I have 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm the coordinator of the project AquaWatt together with the company Asign. It's a consortium with 2 companies where ourselves are more focused on the hardware part and Asign more on the software part. Can you just go to the next slide? Okay, so this is a summary of the project. The idea is basically digitalizing water pipelines, so the pipelines now carrying water for drinking water to citizens in places in the countryside where there's no electricity. So what we developed is a system from field, from pipe, all the way up to processed data. So the very first step, more on the physical level, and which was our core activity, is the design and optimization of a turbine specially made for drinking water, so made with materials which are compatible with drinking water, and which is mounted in every location. It's available a pressure drop, which allows the machine to rotate. And so the target of the turbine is creating electricity. This electricity, so we move from mechanics, gets into an electronic board, which basically process this electricity and charge a battery. So it acts like a battery charger. This because electronics everywhere requires a DC input. So this is more the field part. In this board, we had also a communication module, which can transmit data to third-party devices like the data logger. Specifically in this project, we investigated the use of LoRaWAN, the protocol which is getting an open source protocol, which is getting very popular in the water industry, and it is operator independent. So what we did is to develop a software, let's say low-level software, which was allowing to transfer and translate the data coming from sensors from the turbine control board, the yellow board there, which had the Modbus protocol into a format which is compatible with LoRaWAN. So this is the part which was more focused on our company, which is more hardware and it's a low-level software based. Then we had the opportunity to do experimentation with end users, with some water companies, and then what happened? We collected an amount of data, and this data were passed on to the other partner, which is Asign. So what they did, since Asign is specialized in AI methods to process data, we specifically wanted to check one key element of this loop, the battery, because the battery, as all batteries, happens like a mobile phone, after a certain number of charge and discharge has to be replaced. So the idea was to use algorithms coming from the world of machine learning, also with some physical insights, so what is called the physics-informed neural network, to try and predict the residual life of the battery based on the number of charge and discharge, which is a very important information for the user because he can sort of know in advance when it's a good time to replace the battery because it's getting too old, and so plan all its maintenance activities.
And Manuel, sorry, the 4 minutes. You can just conclude it, please.
Sure. So, okay. So basically, the summary was that we did three activities. One is the mechanical, so the turbine. The second one is electronic communication, so the control hub. And the third one was an algorithm for the data processing of the data of the batteries to predict its life using a neural network and Bayesian inference. So this is, in summary, what we did, and we had the opportunity to test it with the real end user.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Okay.
So then our next project is farm drops, then farming artificial intelligence drone optimizes precision system, and Alberto Jose Arenillas from SMATS will do the presentation. Alberto?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alberto. I am CEO of SMAP, an aeronautical engineer with more than 30 years of experience in development of new products. Next, I would like to give you a brief description of the company. SMAP is an Spanish consultancy company that develops new products with a higher value. We are specialists in agriculture, mechanical design, artificial intelligence, among others. Fardrops, the development team consists of two computer engineers, Lubin specialized in artificial intelligence and Balarak in software development, and me as project manager and general consult. The project is Fardrop. We want to solve the problem of water in agriculture. A World Bank benchmark is that the 70% of the world's fresh water is spent on agriculture. Our aim is to improve the agri-food water system by increasing water efficiency and crop productivity. The use case of our drones is that a user fly a drone over the crop to capture multispectral images. FarDrop produce a report that highlight areas with insufficient or excessive water. But what is FarDrop? It's an artificial intelligence decision support system that will generate output data, image prediction, from the input data, image drone. Next, please. To understand FarDrop, it's necessary to know a very technical explanation. Light is composed of a series of bands ranging from ultraviolet to infrared band. Only a small part of the spectrum is visible to human vision. Every object that receives light, there is a part of the light that is reflected. Is composed of one unique blend of bands, being unique to the body and its characteristics. So by analysis this mixture, it's possible to know the body and its characteristics. The mixture of bands is called the spectral sign. To know the state of the plant, the most important is found in the visible band near infrared and short-wave infrared band. In agriculture, the vegetation indices are used to carry out this study, being operation carried out with the different bands. In FarDrop, we have used the following vegetation indices: NDVI, which analyzes the vitality of the plant, NDWI analyze the humidity, and the NDMI analyze the amount of the water absorbed. To calculate these indices, it's necessary to use multispectral images taken from satellite of drones with multispectral cameras. Satellites offer the full range of the spectrum, but the accuracy is lower, while drones usually only incorporate the visible and near infrared band. The index that generates the most important is the NDMI, which uses near infrared and short wave infrared band. So it's necessary to be calculated using satellite, but not with drone. In fact, drone we have predicted with artificial intelligence this index from data obtained with the drone. To solve this problem, a data set has been created with the next vegetation indices, NDMI, NDWI, and DNI, obtained from satellite and applied to pixel level. And from the images taken by the drone, the NDMI has been calculated also the pixel level. an image was then generated from this pixel level prediction and superimposed of the original image, showing a representation of the amount of the water in the vegetation. Values between.
Alberto, your time is finished. If you want to conclude, please.
No, this is all. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so then we go to the next project, that is Hydrobol, and it could be Alejandro Lecumberri for the company Fernando Sarria Agrotechnologies. Yeah, Alejandro?
Hello, can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can hear you. We cannot see you, but we can hear you. Okay, a moment. Yeah, your time is, and now we see you. You can start.
Okay. So I'm here in the middle of the field in a wonderful morning, sunny morning, in an installation of Hydrobol, actually, which is the product that's our project, the one I want to present today. So I'm
Alejandro, now we are not hearing well now.
Hydrobol, which is
Alejandro, we are losing the connection. I think it's nice to see you just in the field, but we cannot hear you. Maybe you can turn off your camera and then we can listen better. Oh, Alejandro, what we are going to do is we go to another project and we will try later with you, okay? Because there's some problems with the connections. So we go to the next speaker and we will come back when Alejandro later. So then we go to the NIADNet project. Dennis, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Perfect.
Okay, okay, thank you. So we have a Dennis Quickman from IAN Innovation Center, and then he's going to present the NIANet TP sensor. So yeah, the floor is yours.
Good morning. So yeah, you see the name Terricolor underneath. So the NIADNet TP sensor, TP stands for total phosphorus, and that is a hard one to actually measure because it exists out of inorganic and organic material. So there's not just one sensor that usually can measure this. That means that very often to measure these values, you have to take a water sample, take it to a lab, there you process it, and then you have the outcome. Yeah, thank you. That creates some challenges because your samples you cannot measure continuously. And the sensor finds its origin in the challenge that you have with influxes. Like if farmers are fertilizing their lands, then you can have peaks of this total phosphorus in the water. And you can miss that, and you don't have static values throughout the season. You see in the graph here in the middle below that throughout the season these values go up and down because it goes into the sediment and up. So you never know exactly if you take one sample what's the cause, and nowadays because the temperatures are going up, you can very quickly get also blue-green algae growth just on a wrong moment, on the wrong day. So to have this kind of insights, you will need a sensor that is able to determine the total phosphorus levels in the water. And NIADNet tries to be able to detect that, and in the project that we can prove that we can sense an influx event caused by, for example, the agriculture. And we do that by taking a total fingerprint, multispectral fingerprint of the total water sample. We interpret that, and we have machine learning interpreting it, and from that we can determine the total phosphorus levels. So an important part of these activities were taking samples, manually process them still, many of them, so it's been lots in the lab, and then training our machine learning models accordingly. So we succeeded so far. So next slide, please. We were able to come with a prototype where we take a water sample, we suck it in, and send that to our servers. There it's being interpreted, and with the dashboard, the values can be seen by the stakeholders. It can be farmer, can be swimming locations that are like also a stakeholder in this whole system. We try to have it like actually on the market by the end of the year. We still have some practical issues to work out, but we're kind of happy with our project so far. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dennis. You were just in less than the 4 minutes. Thank you. So then we go to the next project, that is a Smart Drop. So Vinicius from Second Europe and Iñaki Mutuberri for Isurki. Are you there to do the presentation?
Yes, of course, I'm here. Good morning, everyone. I will start with the presentation, and after that, I will put you through with Mr. Bilsinai Salt from our partners in Hungary, the company Second Europe. So if we can go move forward to the next slide. That's right. This is the one I'm going to talk to you about. Well, what we have done is to develop a system to improve the efficiency of irrigation systems in agriculture, right? On a multi-strategies basis, as you can see in the first row. So it's very important to take into account that there are different solutions in the market, but they do not address different ways, schedules, procedures, and strategies to irrigate the crops. And in our case, we have considered the different scenarios based on the expertise of the local farmers, right? So we have done a very long-term survey with the potential users to get all the knowledge necessary to include in the application all these irrigation strategies. And the results have been tested on site, on the ground, although at the end of the project, the irrigation campaign was over because it was at the end of November, as you can see. But it is, of course, still running, and we have started a new campaign. So we are collecting data online to make a feedback of our system. The other second point is that it was very clear to us that it should be a very sustainable solution. So although we state here that we used very special batteries that can be recycled according to the European Recycling Platform, ERP, in our case, one of the breakthroughs of the solution is that we don't use batteries at all. So it's a completely autonomous system, something that has been developed within this project and allows us to generate zero wastes on the hardware that we deploy on the field. Okay, the third achievement is the development of one application platform, online platform, that better if my colleague Salt will talk to you about in his intervention after mine. And the fourth achievement, last but not least, is that it is an adaptive system. So far, the existing solutions in the market do not take in account the real demand. And what we have done is to let the system be adaptive according to the change of the weather conditions. So it automatically responds to changes in the weather parameters. And now I finish with this slide, and for the next one, I will put you through with my colleague, Salt. Thank you.
Thank you, Inaki. So some short sentences only that I have to tell you. So let's see the results of the project. We want to get the results here mainly on the fields, but in the project you can see some devices, some control devices and measurement devices here, and some outputs of the project that you can see that we can handle the more formats of the visualization for the users, and we had a focus here on the measurement, on the data gathering and data processing first, and second on the controlling of the devices, because it is very important to have a possibility to make a good configure or good setup for the controlling device in the system. And
so you have to just finish in some seconds.
Yes. Thank you very much. So you can see here the more formats, and I think the big challenge or the main challenge was to find out all conditional parameter or operational parameter, like the best KPIs and the best rules to get a right work of the system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sol. And then Alejandro, I don't know if I see you are back, just to see if you can. Yeah, okay. I go to your presentation. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I'm pleased to present Hydroball, which is the device that you see there on the screen. It is a smart soil sensing system, which is developed to support farmers in order to reduce both water usage and improve quality and productivity of the plant through actionable digital insights. So Hydroball is a wireless and autonomous soil probe that measures 4 key parameters in the soil, which is volumetric water content, which is soil moisture is the same, water tension, electrical conductivity, and temperature. It is fully compatible with field operations. It requires no infrastructure, no external power sources or antennas, and it's very easy to install, even for non-digital users, such as a wide variety of farmers in Europe. Regarding this, one of the biggest obstacles in the agri-food sector is precisely the data complexity. Farmers are often overwhelmed by graphs, raw numbers. They need to spend hours looking at data which they might not even understand or not have the time to address. So to address this, we have developed automated weekly prescriptive reports that translate the sensor data into simple and clear irrigation recommendations. These reports are delivered directly to the farmer in an easy to understand format, which is measured, for example, in rainfall equivalents in millimeters. Through our pilot campaign with our partner in the project, Grupo AN, which is a leading Spanish farming cooperative, we have already achieved a 30% reduction in irrigation water use while maintaining optimal soil conditions and improving the crop health. What makes Hydroball truly innovative is, or one of the things, is the ability to generate the soil suction curve in real time, which allows us to identify the soil texture automatically. And this enables precision recommendations tailored to each soil type, the plot, and the crop. The probe has been, of course, validated in the lab and in the field, and we have now achieved the TRL8, which was the objective of the CircInWater project, with a market-ready product that is already attracting strong interest across Europe. Actually, I'm here on the field because no one else could do this presentation. We had all to be installing, so it's having quite a lot of success already, in part thanks to CircInWater. So we have overcome 3 major barriers to digital transformation in agriculture. First is the digital literacy. Many farmers, they don't feel confidence interpreting digital data. So our solution solves this by turning that data into clear irrigation advice, as you see in the first pillar of this slide. The secondly is wireless communication in underground environments. The device is buried, so we needed to redesign our antennas and switch to a new firmware protocol. And with this, we achieved extending communications distances by 200%, even from buried probes. And the third is the cost and complexity. Hydroball is affordable, simple to deploy, and scalable. I don't know, Marisa, how am I with the time? Is it okay? Okay. I cannot hear, but I will continue. So as we move forward.
Sorry, you have 1 minute just to finish. Let's have a minute.
Perfect. So as we move forward, what are our next steps? So first, integrating artificial intelligence for even more advanced analytics and early detection of risks like diseases or over-irrigation. Secondly, expanding the measurement capabilities to include nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And thirdly, scaling internationally through distribution partners and alliances with irrigations and agri-tech companies, of course, across Europe. So to sum up, I would say that digital transformation, it will only succeed in agriculture if we make it simple, accessible, and truly valuable for farmers. And that is exactly what Hydroball aims to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alejandro. Then just with this, when you were just now mentioning all this about the barriers that you have the product has to break. Also, this is a question for all of you, that because all your projects are integrating artificial intelligence of also IoT or smart sensing technologies. So how do you see the role of the digital transformation evolving in the water management? And then, especially what are the challenges that already Alejandro mentioned, some of them that you find it in the agri-food sector or in the industrial systems. So I don't know who want to start. To maybe Emmanuel, you want to say something relating to this? Emmanuel Guglielmino? Or Dennis or Alberto?
I can answer if you want.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yes.
Dennis? Maybe first. Yeah. I think Dennis. Later Alejandro. Yeah, Dennis.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it was in order.
Sorry. The challenges. I think there's a great potential in using smart systems in each individual sector. But there might be even more potential in thinking of systems, like what happens in the soil directly with, for example, the surface waters that we are busy in, and to think a bit more like systems of systems. So there's a great potential, but the challenge here is, of course, that all these systems needs to be able to talk to each other, like the data connection in between these kind of like sectors that are connected with each other.
Okay, thank you. So Alejandro, you were also going to comment on that?
I believe that I think it's clear that digital transformation in water management is evolving towards greater integration of real-time data, predictive analysis, like what you said now about AI, that we are all integrating automation and so on. So I believe that the main challenge requires or the main challenge lies precisely in making a bridge in the gap between these high resolution sensing technologies and actionable decision making in the end in the operational settings, right? So in traditional agri-food systems, this data overload and the user inexperience in these kind of technologies often set back the adoption of these technologies, if you know what I mean. So the truth is that only 3% of the, for example, in my field, 3% of crops are sensorized in the world, only 3%, right? So with Hydroball, we have embedded this prescriptive intelligence into the platform, automatically generating the irrigation recommendations based on the soil and water interactions, including real-time suction curves, analysis. So, and this reduces the cognitive and technical load on the end user. So we're making it easy in the end, right? And this will enable the true digital uptake at scale. So this will be the main challenge, and this is how we are addressing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Marisa,
know.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm Andrea. Guglielmo had a problem and I had to leave the meeting. So on this point, just a comment on this topic. I think that it will be unmissable to follow another technological trajectory, which is about remote sensing and satellite data. So satellite data is becoming cheaper and of course better. So next, ESA just launched a new IRIDE mission, which will provide a resolution on 2.5 meters per pixel. So we are seeing, let's say, a technological trajectory of price, satellite product prices going down or free, and quality and multispectral, hyperspectral SAR signal coming even in better services products. So that will be about the scale of the agriculture application. That will be one of the major impacting factors.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. And then you know that we will explain later, but you will have opened the B2Match tool just to present all these projects and results and to promote the collaboration between the different with the different stakeholders, in these topics. So I don't know if Alberto or Emmanuel or Dennis already mentioned something, or Iñaki want to mention something else. If not, we will go to the next session.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say, if may I talk? Yes?
Yes, yeah, Iñaki, go
All
on.
right. Now, something that I sent in the previous emails, that what we can see, our perception of in the case of the Spanish market is, I don't know if that guy Lecumberri is agree with me or not, but the sensation in general is that it's not receptive. I think it's not mature enough, the market, as far as we can observe when we get in touch with different stakeholders, right? So there's a kind of crops and business related to agriculture, which are at the top of the use of the technology, which could be the wine producers, the vineyards, which are very powerful. In the case of Spain, we have a group which is the leader in the application of IoT technologies and this kind of AI and tech solutions to their crops. But overall, talking in general about the farmers, I think still it's going to happen the same thing that happened in the 80s with the water treatment market. That is, Spain was in a very was facing a very difficult situation, and it took a couple of decades to upgrade the outdated facilities to implement the necessary technology. And I think we are in that moment in the agriculture sector, at least in the Mediterranean countries of Europe. So I don't know how receptive it is in other countries, but that's the feeling I've got for the Spanish market. Nothing
Okay,
else.
thank you, thank you, Iñaki. Just we have maybe 1 minute. Just somebody want to react for other knowing about other market. Not that because Iñaki mentioning about the Mediterranean market, but I don't know. It's more for Central Europe. Somebody else want to just say something related to that?
Well, I can say something. We are starting to work now in Central and Northern Europe, in Belgium, in the Netherlands, in Germany, and also in Sweden. And we believe that even though water needs are higher here in Spain, the market is much more receptive in those countries. People are much more eager to install the product, to test the product, and in the end to sort of take into account what our device is telling them, right? In Spain, I don't know why, if it's because of less technification, or I really don't know, but it's more difficult for us, like my partner said there, to get into the market and to get to the final user.
Okay, thank you. Then we have to do also social innovation, not only technological.
Yeah.
So then, thank you very much to this the participant, and congratulations for the result. And then we go quickly. You can later also discuss in the coming discussions, but we go to the other challenge, that is accelerating circular economy. And here we will start with the project Renja, and Emmanuel Mateo for Montpellier Engineering is going to do the presentation. Manuel, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Marisa, and hello everybody. I'm part of Montpellier Engineering Company. We're a small company in the south of France, and we have participated with the Renja project. We work with Eco-Philae company and with a small municipality, a small town, village, even a village in the south of France, to make a reuse and after the wastewater treatment plant, and go to use this water then to gardening, to produce nice tomato, mainly in the nice season of summer. Can you go to the next slide, please? We are lucky with this village because they have the wastewater treatment plant just in front of the municipal or communal garden, which are just on the other side of the road. So we can build a pipe. The main two aspects of this project are to build the system to make the reuse and get clean water, let's say quality A water, and go then distribute this water to the garden. But the other part is the legal part, which in France, we need to have the authorization from the state, the government, to be able to reuse the water. So we have worked on the Montpellier engineering side on the solution to have the technical solution, and then Eco-Philae is more concentrated on the legal part to prepare the documents and make the analysis to produce to get this legal authorization. As you see on the upper left of the slide, the wastewater treatment plant is a reed bed filter, and you have the possibility to get. We have easy access, so we can put the reed bed filter with the aerated reed bed filter. And we just after this, we have the electro-oxidation system that I will show you in next slide. Can you go to next slide, please? So you see the reed bed filter on the upper top, on the top left of the presentation, and the electro-oxidation system, which is, as my colleagues said, fully connected thanks to the GSM and We can monitor the pH and many system parameters of the systems. And we can treat in these cells a really small flow of water, but the target is to be able to prove that we can make clean water and get this legal authorization, because then we should be able to increase the quantity produced per day. This small village is only produce 100 cubic meter a day on the maximum. So it's quite small, but enough, really enough for the garden. And we can go to this up to this quantity later on by increasing the size. So we have finished right now the installation. The system is producing water reuse, and we have done many analysis campaign where we have the proof that the quality is quite good, because we reach the quality A, which is the most the better we can get. We
You
have
have
made
to finish, Emmanuel. The time is finishing, so just you have some seconds to finish.
I finished. So we are just done some. We have done some visits, and we are working on getting the final legal authorization from the statement.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Then we go to the following project, BioResc, and Elias Jacaleto from Finoflag will do the presentation. Elias, you are there? Yeah, okay, perfect. You can start. Thank you. We cannot hear you, Elias. I don't know. I think because you is not that you are muted, but we cannot hear you. Now you are now you look muted. Now you try to talk. No, it's not working. So what we are going to do, we go to the next presentation, and I come back. We come back later. No, see if you can solve. Maybe you have to go out of the meeting and get in again to prove this is working. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So then we go to the following project, that is our paper, and Celia Trujillo for Ingeobras will do the presentation. Celia, I cannot see you. You are there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Celia. Then you can start.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Celia Trujillo, and I'm going to talk to you about our paper. You can go to the next slide. Our paper was a project developing an advanced oxidation process to treat it pulp and paper industry wastewater. Our key ideas was target the recalcitrant compounds like lignin, dyes, resins, and using ultraviolet with ozone and photophotone individually and combined in order to reduce or eliminate that kind of substances. As well, we tried to optimize other factors as contact time, pH, temperature, and catalysis. Our first goals were remove the 95% of COD and the 90% of the recalcitrant substances, and as well reduce the crude energy used by 30%. In order to have an impact, reducing the pollution, having a resolvable water, and closed loop process in a circular economy. And you can go to the next slide. Regarding to the results that we obtained with this project, first we used it ultraviolet with ozone, and we were able to reduce 31% of COD and 72% of PCU removal in just 1 hour with a pH of 7. Then we modified a little bit the pH. We introduced a pH of 4, and we decided to use a reflective material. In that case, we reduced 75% of COD and 88% of TCU. Then we tried as well the photopanton, another technique, in order to reduce or recalcitrant substances. With a pH of 4, we were able to reduce 68% of COD and 92% of TCU in just 1 hour. In that case, we use a ratio between peroxide and iron 110, iron and peroxide 110. And in this case, catalysis filtration was needed. Then we combined both technologies, and we demonstrate that the combination of both technologies were able to reduce 89% of COD and 94% of these recalcitrant substances with just 1 hour and with a pH around 4. The ratio was between iron and peroxide was as well 120, and as well the catalysis filtration was needed. With that results, we think that this kind of technologies has a very successful future, so we are going to try to find other kind of solutions to apply to that one. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Celia. You are agreeing in really 3 minutes, so great. So we come back to Elias to see is now is possible to hear you. Elias, are you there? Okay, so I think that we see Elias could manage about the sound, and then I have then a question for Emmanuel and for Celia, because from an innovation standpoint, what do you believe that is the most disruptive aspect of your solution? No? How do you plan to bring it to the market?
For us, the main aspect is to get the legal authorization, because the market will accept our product. And before you speak about mature market, and I think the reuse is being mature in France, at least, but slowly. And the most important thing now is to get this maturity with legal authorization getting from the state, because they're making some law to make this authorization possible. That's a good thing, but we need the legal paper in hand to be able to propose it now to the municipality, to them, to be able to make, okay, we can have now this water reuse and make some water economy physically.
Okay. And Celia, what you in your case?
In our case, we think that as well our technology is disrupted itself, but we know that we only just applied in just one field, which was the recalcitrant substances. But this technology has an amount of possibilities, and we know that can be a technology used for other type of water, other type of contaminants and pollutants. So we think that this has a huge future, but we need to find some companies that would like to introduce that kind of technology, because now it's difficult to find it.
Okay, so then this from now what we were talking in this Green Week about circular, and Manuel mentioned how it's necessary, to facilitate this, and then the administrative questions, and also is necessary to find companies that are willing to work on that. But let's see, is Elias now is
yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Perfect.
Excellent.
So then, Elias, then you can start your presentation.
So thank you very much for the invitation, and hello to everybody. So I'm presenting the biorescue project, which is working on the biorefining of side streams of industries in order to clean the water and also to use the solid fraction as soil improvement and soil amendment. And these soil amendments we are microbiologically upgrading. And before we get to this residual fraction, we also may collect different kinds of platform chemicals, polymer raw materials, and the composites from the side stream flow, plus different energy gases like methane and biohydrogen. And so this has been now tested during this biorescue project together with Sappi mill in Kirkniemi, Finland, which is a very big magazine paper producing unit. It has sometimes produced 25% of all the magazine paper that's consumed on this planet. So it's a huge factory, and so the side stream flow or stream is very remarkable. And these kinds of potential raw materials we are having on at least 3,000 sites all over the globe. And so we studied this kind of exploitation of these reserves in Tampere, where there was a corresponding mill operating for about a century. It stopped operation in 2008. And in the lake ecosystem, they have some millions of tons of so-called zero fiber, which is fibrous side stream. And we were refining that with microbes to produce chemicals such as lactate, other organic acids and alcohols. And also we proved that we could make considerable amounts of hydrogen out of that. And besides all that, the residual fraction could be exploited as soil improvement agent or fertilizer. And currently we have the global problem of running out of arable land. All the erosion, chemicalization, etc. has taken off lots of cultivable land from agricultural use, which is causing problems for food production. And UNESCO had just an alarming report that in 2050, if this goes on, we have only 10% of the arable land left in food production. So something has to be done. And in order to avoid the drawbacks of excessive chemicalization and other consequences of effective agriculture, we could also add different organic materials containing lots of nutrients, which are processed by microbiological means with microbes who are the workers in this project. Actually, every morning when we have a spoonful of yogurt, we have as many bacterial cells in that little amount as there are human beings on this planet. So it tells us that there are plentiful of microbes all over us in the soil, as we all know. And we tested this concept, which has already been applied in Tampere. We had piloting studies for 6 years, and then we have had about 10 other pilots.
Sorry, you have to conclude. Yes,
and as a conclusion, this soil amendment principle, it produces huge amounts of new products. We can productize the side streams, which would otherwise be an environmental problem. They could spoil the waters, or combusting them would spoil the atmosphere. But now we can return them back. We can get the carbon back to soil for producing crops. We can use carbon dioxide in the greenhouses, etc. And we can make chemicals of high value. So it's a very nice concept which we have now tested from this point of view in some horticultural studies, and so we are very thankful for the support for so far from the CircInWater program. And as side product, we get clean water out of all this, which can be used in the cultivations or in the industrial processes. So we get to the concept of circular economy, where the industries are run without any waste output. We can mobilize all the side streams as raw material sources in the big picture, and this opens a non-fossilic, non-toxic raw material prototype and product in massive scale. Thank you very much for your interest.
Thank you very much, Elias, for your presentation. So then we go to the last round of presentation, that with the challenge that the project were responding to the challenge of promoting quality monitoring and water treatment, remediation and disinfection. And then here we will have the project Sustainable Farming Dashboard, and will be Mateo Mayer for Aqua Earth who will do the presentation. Then Mateo, please.
Thank you very much for the introduction.
Yeah.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Well, at Aqua.Earth, we measure, study, and predict. The first slide, please. The relation between soil quality and surface water quality. And by doing that, we focus on the small water bodies, which is about 2/3 of all water bodies in the EU. And the reason that we do that is that they are hardly monitored, although they are extremely important for biodiversity. And they are hardly monitored because it's very expensive, and we are searching for and developing solutions for that. The Sustainable Farming Dashboard was developed in this project, and we provided with that solution for the farmer to optimize their operations in terms of preventing over fertilization, under fertilization, and to proactively irrigate the land when it's needed. Next slide, please. We had quite some challenges, but we are proud that we achieved all desired results. What you see at the upper left in this picture is a soil sensor, which measures moisture and temperature in the topsoil and in the subsoil. And also you can see that in the middle, below this orange cap, there are gas sensors, oxygen, CO2, volatile organic compounds, and ammonia. And all together, this information through physics modeling and also machine learning, we were able to translate all these data to the need to fertilize or to wait with that, and also to predict the need for irrigation. Then we also have a floater, that is the smaller device, and it measures spectrophotometrically in the UV region the transmission of UV light and also the transmission of visible light. It measures temperature and it measures conductivity. And you see here at the bottom a very big graph. We did a huge number of samples together with the water campus and wedges, and that made it possible to interpret all data that we collected at the frequency of once per minute. And we are able with this floater to collect at the frequency of once per minute the quantitative total phosphorus, total nitrogen, and total organic carbon concentration. And this really reflects the ecological status of the ditches at a farm. And that informs the farmer if he is having runoff of nutrients into his ditch so that he can take measures. Well, this resulted in a dashboard, and well, I'm not going to in detail to that, but the farmer can really see with very simple parameters what is going on and get an advice. At the upper right, you see a picture of us decreasing in the field the energy consumption of these sensors and also the connectivity to our cloud server. That was quite a challenge, but now we have a system that runs a year on ecologically friendly batteries and measures these data that I mentioned at a frequency of once per minute. Then we can go to the next slide. So we have our soil and surface water monitoring sensors in place at our launching dairy farmer at Lemmer in the Netherlands. They collect meaningful data. We store hashes, kind of fingerprints of these data, in a public Algorand blockchain. And that means that it also provides for the farmer really legal proof that they are operating in an ecologically friendly way. We have a dashboard.
Matteo, you have just to finish the conclusions. Okay,
yes.
So just finish, please, in some seconds.
Yes. And all these positive results resulted in a PhD project and also in a participation in an urban project that is about to start to roll out this system further. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Matteo. And then we go to the next project that is real-time bacterial monitoring of reused water in agriculture to reduce water scarcity, agri-SVDP, and it will be Raquel Obregón from Sense Solutions, who is going to do the presentation. Raquel?
Hi, thank you. You can go to the next slide. Okay, the objective of this project in CircInWater, it was the use of real-time monitoring to identify bacteria in recycled water to mitigate the water scarcity that they use in the agriculture. The scope, it was create an intelligent water monitoring to monitor the bacteria, and we focus in two bacteria, E. coli and Legionella, that are found in the treated water. And we want to, now is a new regulation in the water, the 2027-41, that regulate the monitoring of these bacteria. So we want to start to follow this regulation. So for this, the main activities that we make in this CircInWater project, it was to create a prototype that use an optical biofilm sensor to monitor the bacteria. We develop an AI algorithm to identify this pattern of bacteria, and then we launch a pilot in Spain. The next slide. The final results that we have in this project, it was we have a previous device. It was hydrolysis 3P that monitors biofilm in cooling towers. For this project, we want to use for the agri sector to find and identify the bacteria. So we modify our previous sensor and we incorporate an infrared sensor to monitor the bacteria. We validate the new sensor in the lab for these two bacteria, only E. coli and Legionella, and a mix of them. And we have good results in the laboratory. And then for validation in the field, we have a collaboration here in Spain, in the Badalona City Council, where we installed our device in an installation where they use this kind of water, treated water, for irrigation. And we compare always our results with the standard methods that are microbiological analysis, and we have good results. Our product is an online monitor. We can monitor quality water 24/7. We can detect bacteria in less than 10 minutes. If we compare these results with the laboratory, it's around 1-2 days, so we have a faster detection. Our device is more cost effective if we compare with this kind of test, because typically it's 1-2 times that they have to make this test. So it costs around 500 euros, and our fee is cheaper because you don't have a limit of tests. You have unlimited tests. We have proved that our sensors save 30% of energy, and we can recover 70% of water. This kind of sensor, you can prevent the lame sky, so you can save CO2 emissions with this kind of sensors. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raquel. And then just the last innovation project that we will present today is the MPNWER MPN analyzer, safe water reuse in agri-food, and it's going to be Darjan Gande from Microbiome who is going to present it. Darjan?
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for this kind introduction. I hope you can all hear me. Yeah, and I'll just begin. We can jump on the next slide. Thank you so much. Yeah, so in Microbiome, we're focusing on smart automated solution for microbiological water monitoring or quality control that is touching up on drinking water specifically. Our kind of flagship product here on the picture is called the MPN Analyzer, which is an automated device, a digital product for microbiological water quality monitoring, especially focusing on E. coli and other coliform bacteria. So these are basically fecal bacteria that are a crucial parameter to monitor in drinking water in order to kind of ensure its quality for all the end users. And the project objective here was to kind of widen up the perspective of the use of the MPN analyzer towards the reuse of the water in agri-food industry. So that's the water that may be, I don't know, rainwater or so, that also needs to be quality monitored on the microbiological side. And these also meant that we needed to approach our kind of research and development of the product towards widening up the bacteria that it can actually also detect. And so in this project, we were upgrading the MPN analyzer for simultaneous detection of 3 bacterial species. So these are E. coli, coliforms, and now also Enterococcus species. This is very, very crucial since E. coli and coliforms usually don't persevere in the environment for a long time, but Enterococcus does, meaning that if the water is still for I don't know, for some time, Enterococcus can still be detected, and it's an indicator that water may not be safe for reuse. And so in this case, our key objectives were to develop a new product specifically in a sense of a chromogenic medium that we had to now detect 3 colors to address presence of all 3 bacteria through the sensory readings, but also to reduce the single-use plastic laboratory material consumption that comes if you don't use a digital and automated reusable product. And this meant that we were able to reduce it by 55 kilograms per 100 tests if you compare it to standard laboratory practices, where one single test would, for example, use almost 0.5 kilo of plastic waste. And with this, of course, development of the product, we would enable reuse of 6.6 billion liters of wastewater per year for the agri-food industry. Next slide, please. Thank you. Yes. And so in short, as you can see on the picture, we managed to develop selective 3-color chromogenic medium in this case for detection of all 3 bacterial species. We then also train software and algorithms for sensory readings of the MPN analyzer that are built into the lid of the device and then connected to the mobile app in a sense, which gives you now the report, as you can see on the bottom right side of the slide. And with this, we also optimized and standardized the procedures for the MPN analyzers after analysis, cleaning, and sterilization to ensure that all results are readable and also valid when you repeat analysis, so on and on. We then implemented final design and integration of the automated analysis report into the workflow to include all the information. And we also then completed method validation. So we compared the results of the MPN analyzer measurements to the standard ISO standardized methods like membrane filtration, which I mentioned previously, uses a lot of plastic waste. And so basically, yeah, with this, we kind of validated and upgraded the MPN analyzer to a digital and optimized microbiological water monitoring for the agri-food industry, and yeah, brought up the potential for reuse of at least 6.6 billion liters of wastewater per year. And with this also we yeah, immensely cut plastic waste, as I said before, to at least 55 kilograms per 100 tests. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Darjan. So then we are a little bit out of time, but I would like just to make a last question for the three of you, just with please quick answer about how are maybe the main challenges that you encountered in validating this water quality using these your technologies. Maybe it's not technical challenges, and as we see, there are other kind of challenges, not that you have to break. So I don't know if you want just to say something relating to this, Mateo, Raquel, and Darjan.
Yeah, I can say something.
Yeah.
It just what we found out is that in terms of machine learning and modeling, that it was quite a challenge to get acquainted with all kinds of cloud services and things like that to get hands-on machine learning going on in our team, although we are quite experienced in dynamic modeling and machine learning. And a final solution that was really helpful to us is just building our own system, Linux-based with a graphics card, and just spending some time in it. And it now saves so much money in our team that I really can well recommend that approach.
Okay, thank you for this. No, like something that you learn and that you can share with other colleagues. I don't know, Raquel and Darjan, if you want to say something.
For our side, the main problem that we have is the quality of the water. That is very different. It depends of the file, no? In the fields, if we have to train our algorithm for each type of water, for hard water, dirty water. So, and this is very difficult for us. So we have to improve this to train the algorithm, and that's all. It's for us. This is the main problem for us: the quality of the water. That is very different.
Yeah, I would agree with Raquel here. Actually, it's also problematic because bacteria have different strains and adaptations, which may behave differently in real water systems. So this needs a very kind of sound and very thorough validation, which, yeah, but it's also very fun, and also you learn a lot along the way. So to bring these challenges up and solve them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Just to see not that you are facing the same challenges, but not that this type of project also help, not just to try to make pilots and to advance in the development of these technologies. So yeah. So then, thank you very much for to all the speakers and for present your results and to share with us. And also thank you a lot because has been very easy to work with all of you, and really, it has to thanks, your commitment with the project and your work on that. Matteo, you want to say something?
Just a very brief question. I really liked all the presentations I have seen. Would it be possible to share them?
Yeah. We will share also on the presentations, and also, and then in the website of the project there will be more information, and also the recording, and also all of you produce nice videos. We're also explaining the technology, so we will send all the information so you can check and also get in contact. Just if you need more information. No.
Thank you.
Okay. So sorry, I think, thank you again, and I think that we are a little bit late, so we have just 5 minutes break to take a coffee, and we continue later with really interesting session about funding opportunities for you to keep working in your development, but also for other innovative solutions. So 5 minutes, so maybe maybe we can come back at 11. Okay, 11, 5 has 7, 8 minutes. So we come back at 11. Okay, thank you very much. Thomas, are you here? Thomas? Thomas Cataragini is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Thomas. Do you want that we try a moment just before? Is you can, is you can. I'm going to try to give you the control
Yes.
and see if this is working. Okay, if it's not, you can. You see when is you can take it or not.
At the moment, I don't see anything.
No. I'm going to try to give you the control to see it's work, but I don't know it's going to work. Let's see. You see something? No, I think it's not possible. Then what we can do is you want to present yourself. Then
I
when
can,
it's your...
I can present myself.
Yeah, then I will stop the presentation and then you share your screen, okay?
Yes, that's
Okay.
good. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Marisa.
Yeah.
Soy Esther Casado.
Hola, Esther.
Quiero yo también compartir
¿También?
una nueva,
Vale,
porque es que he hecho alguna, te lo mando esta mañana, he hecho algún cambio porque creo que se encaja mejor en un entorno internacional. Lo mío era más español y entonces ayer pensé hacerlo y creo que encaja mejor. Entonces he hecho dos cambios que creo que encaja mejor con el perfil de hoy. Entonces, aunque te lo he mandado en PDF para que lo puedas enviar, yo comparto. Pero yo como tengo Teams puedo compartir sin problema. Yo creo.
Vale. Sí, vale, perfecto. Pues entonces,
¿Lo ves?
sí, a ver,
no tengo problema.
sí.
Lo ves
Vale,
bien,
ok.
¿verdad?
Lo veo bien, sí. Vale, pues entonces, en vuestro caso, compartís vosotros, yo eso, y así lo presentáis vosotros, ¿vale?
Vale,
de acuerdo.
Venga,
bueno, gracias, muchas gracias. Ahora volvemos, ya empezamos en 2 minutos.
Venga, estupendo.
So we start again. So then I give the floor to Scott Allison, is the head of the water department in Clean. Scott, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So
okay.
Thanks, Marissa. That was a very interesting first part. Obviously, a lot of presentations, a lot of cool innovations. Second part of this Winning Days, I'll be moderating this part, and we're focusing this time now on funding and different types of frameworks and funding opportunities for innovative solutions in the water sector. So my name's Scott Allison. I'm head of water here at Clean, and Clean is the Danish environmental and water cluster, and we're part of the Water Smart Connect project, but also we work with many of these clusters around Europe and the world. I guess we can jump straight into it. Obviously, we're running a bit behind schedule, but you can see on the agenda here we have 5 different opportunities that will be kind of showcased quickly. Each presenter has 10 minutes approximately to kind of go over these things. And as Marissa said, this will be all shared afterwards, because I know there's going to be quite a lot of information here coming up. So I guess first up we have Camilla Deletta from that will be presenting Eureka funding opportunities. Camilla, are you here?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me well and see me as well. Next slide, please. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to present some of the Eureka funding opportunity for SMEs. Today we focus on Eurostar and the Eureka Fast Track to the EIC. Next slide, please. So I'll start with Eurostar. So Eurostar is a funding program that spotlights innovative SME as main project partner. SMEs are the main target of this program. This program is part of the innovative SME partnership with the European Commission. It's co-funded by the European Commission and by the 37 participating countries that are part of Eurostar. We expect 250 million euro of anticipated public-private investment every year. We found around 680 organizations every year, and the success rate is around 25%. That is overall quite high. I also want to say that the program is bottom-up. So that means that we don't focus on a specific technological or market area, but we welcome application from every technological area. So of course, it might be interesting for many of the people that are listening in. And next slide, please. Just a quick overlook on the program benefits. So why could be interesting to participate? Of course, there is public funding available. But also Eurostar is a funding program for international collaboration. So it's not mono-beneficiary, you need to have partners. And what we see is that the partnership that is built through the program could be interesting also then for future market opportunity and business relation. We see often a knowledge transfer between the different organizations that participate in the same project. We also see commercial acceleration and also revenue growth after the project is completed. Next slide, please. We have two calls every year, one with a deadline in autumn and one with a deadline in spring. And the next one will open the 2nd of July and will close on the 4th September 2025. The deadline is 2 p.m. Brussels time. So if you're interested, I think there is enough time to start preparing your application form. Next slide, please. So who can participate in the program? I said at the beginning that SMEs are the main target, but we also have startup participating, large company, university, research organization, and other type of organization. Next slide, please. There is funding available from the 37 Eurostar countries. Here you see in the map the countries that are participating with public funding. If organizations that are not like coming from a country that is represented here would like to join the consortium, they can on a self-funding basis. Otherwise, there is funding. And what I always recommend, if you're interested in the program, is to contact your national project coordinator in your country because the funding is coming from them. So it's very important that you check the rules at national level before applying. Next slide, please. So a typical Eurostar project, again, this is not binding rules. This is just to give you an idea on how a Eurostar project look like. As I said, bottom up. So there is no specific technical or market area where you need to focus. Normally, there is 3 to 4 participants from 2 to 3 different countries. The average duration is 30 months, and the average project cost is 1.4 million. This is representing both the public and private funding. So it's really the budget of the project. Next slide, please. We have some eligibility criteria that, of course, the consortium applying to Eurostar needs to fulfill. So the first one is that the SME must be in the lead of the project. I also said that it's not a program that found mono-beneficiaries, so you need a consortium of at least 2 independent entities coming from at least 2 Eurostar countries. We have 2 eligibility related to the budget, so no more than 50% of the, sorry, at least 50% of the budget must be taken care by the SMEs in the consortium, and then no more than 70% of the budget can belong to a single entity or a single country. The maximum project duration is 36 months, but it can be shorter, and we focus on civilian purpose projects. Eurostar is also a program that is close to market. So is not an eligibility criteria, but when we assess your project proposal, we'll make sure that there is a commercialization aspect for the result of your project. So that's very important. Next slide, please. Now, a quick overview on the evaluation. So you have 2 months to apply. If you're interested, there is also an application form in Word already available in the website, so you can have a look at it. Then after the submission, we check that the consortium are eligible, and then we have the proper assessment with remote expert looking at your proposal, but at the same time also the national funding agency that are the one that allocate funding will perform a legal and financial viability check, and they will make sure that your company is eligible to receive public funding, that your company is not undertaking difficulties, and so on. So that's why it's very important that you check with your national project coordinator at national level. If you succeed this part, then we have an independent evaluation panel looking at your proposal again, and also an ethics review. The assessment is based on 3 criteria that are the quality of the implementation. Then the expert will look at the impact, so at the more market part of the project, and then, of course, at the innovation. Once the experts assess that your proposal is good to receive public funding, we have the funding decision, and then the project can start and is approved. Normally we say 13-14 weeks for the evaluation process. So from submitting to when you know that you can start your project is 13 to 14 weeks. And this is a bit a summary of Eurostar. And now with the next slide, I'd like to talk about the new addition of the Eureka programs, that the Eureka Fast Track to the EAC Accelerator. This is in partnership with the European Commission, and is to participate in the Eureka Fast Track, you need to have a Eurostar project that is either over or close to be completed. This means in the last 6 months of your project. Why this is interesting? Because basically, if you succeed the Eureka Fast Track, then you skip the first step of the EIC Accelerator evaluation. And also is a free ticket, let's say, to the EIC, because for the EIC you have 3 attempts and the Eureka Fast Track doesn't count as one. We have 20 companies progressing to the second step, and you also have the possibility to pitch your project idea to a panel of experts. You will receive feedback, no matter if you are successful or not. So that's we found also this to be a good opportunity for our SMEs. Again, this is the Eureka Fast Track in a nutshell. With the last slide. So next slide, please. Yes. Eureka has also other funding opportunity. They are bottom up. So again, I would invite you to look at our website or subscribe to our newsletter, so you can see and have more information and see also be always up to date with our activities. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Camilla. just on time as well. So it's and I can let people know. I know at Clean and our members, we've had a number of members successful in Eureka programs, so I can recommend it. It's a very effective mechanism for moving to the next stage in your development.
Thank
We'll
you.
quickly jump on to the next presentation. So I saw Esther, you've got your camera on now. So you'll be presenting Accelerator. So away you go. And I think we're followed directly afterwards by Thomas, who will kind of share Pathfinders. But you're first.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this event. I will focus on, sorry. Can you, no, sorry, I had a problem. Let me, yes, sorry, I had a miss in the presentation. Okay, my name is Esther Casado. I'm the NCP for the accelerator at the European Innovation
Esther,
Council.
it's not in full screen, so we can see your notes. So.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, yes, what happened? Let me see. Now?
Yes, that's better.
Yes. Okay, I don't know what happened. Sorry. It's because my two screens are coming now?
It's all
Again,
good.
a
Yeah.
problem?
No.
It's okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that my name is Esther Casado. I'm the NCP for the accelerator at the European Innovation Council. I'm delighted to welcome you to this session focused on the accelerator. Today, we will explore how does the instrument works, and we will go more in depth about the profile of the funding companies. The IC has different windows of opportunities depending on the status of the technical develop, but also depending on the business development stage. Today, we focus on the accelerator. The accelerator is mainly for SMEs. This is individual, is not a consortium. This is the different from Eurostarts, but also can participate small mid-caps if only need equity part. What is the accelerator looking for? This is very important because this instrument is very focused on a special type of project and company. So it's important you to analyze if you fit or not with this, because it's a very challenging topics. So having established the context of the accelerator, we can see that the accelerator looks for companies with a transformative value proposition that is based on a proprietary and protected with a very robust IP strategy that has a technology at least with a TRL 5 completely. That means that you have at least some tests out of the lab in order to demonstrate that your innovation is disruptive. And this technology have to have the potential to create new market or transform the existing ones. But it's not only about proposition technology, it's also about business. The accelerator looks for only those business that have so high risk that it's not possible to fully finance the project without the support of the public fund, and need this support to complete the private capital that need to scale up the project. But also have to be a team. It have to be a full-time dedicated team and complementary. It's not only about developing technology, but also to business and to make money with this technology. What is this instrument? Well, this instrument gives this type of finance. It's an equity and a grant to do different things and at the different stages of the project. You can access, if you are an SME, to the grant that is up to 2.5 million euros to complete your product. It's from tier 6 to 8, and it will cover all the activity that your product will need to be sold. Demonstration, certification of the technology, so this kind of thing, or prepare the market. And then you will have access to the investment. The investments go up to 10 million euro. It's always a co-financing by the venture capital entities. This quantity will be to move from the business to the market at scale. This means that you can use this money to marketing, commercial rollout, production. It will depend on your company. But it also gives you access to the business acceleration services. This will help you not with money, but with access to investors or clients worldwide under the EU flag to develop this business that is more out of the typical support of the public financial scheme. To get this finance, you must follow an evaluation process. The process, as my colleagues commented before, have a maximum of 3 steps in Horizon Europe. If you come from the fast track from Eurostar, you will skip the step 1 and go directly to the second. If not, you will have to present a short proposal that is continuous open, but is evaluated the first Tuesday of every month. This project are evaluated with go or not go. And to go to the next step, at least 3 out of 4 experts have to go to the project. Then you will have access to the full proposal development. You will have the support of a coaching as part of those business acceleration services that is highly recommended because it will help you to focus on align your project with the accelerator requirement. Then you will have the full proposal cut-off date. We have also 2 annual cut-off dates, one in March, one in October. The next one will be the 1st of October. But to reach this point, you have to have the goal of the short proposal before. These proposals are evaluated by 3 experts, and only the 3 of the all of the experts give you the go. You will go to the interview. The interview is when the commission decides if you have or not the finance. So the objective is to have the best information for the interview, not to go a good paper full proposal evaluation. The interview is consists of a pitch of 10 minutes and then up to 35 minutes of question and answer. There are 5 members of the jury, and the company will have to defend the project in front of this panel of juries. What is the profile? This is maybe the main idea of this presentation. Does your company fit in the accelerator? I'm going to give you some information about the topic, the size, and type of company that are being financed. If we analyze the result by topics, we can conclude that there are no limitations regarding the sector. So there is place for all the thematic sector that could contribute to the strategic independence of Europe and to be in a positive impact in the European society. If we think about this core theme that I explained at the beginning, we can see, looking at the result from March and October, that most of the companies have already at least a small size. And that means that if you are only 1-2 people, it will be very difficult to convince the jury that your company has the capacities to complete this very ambitious project. And this team might be fully dedicated to the company, but also complementary. We are speaking about to develop, advance, but also to sell. We will need people from manufacturing or regulatory aspect, depending on the sector, and business development or selling people to complete this very ambitious scaling up of the business. If we also say, see the company in deep, we see that this company have already been invested. We can see that most of the company have proceeded to a Series A round. It's normal because if you need to have a prototype in a very in a TRL5 completed or more, and you need to reach the market in 2-3 years time, you have normally required some money to accelerate this innovation. This money in many sectors come from private funding rounds. And just a comment, 90% of the Spanish project have investors at the time they received the accelerator. And also, if we see, it seems that the company are moving to a Series A more than I just said. So it's seen that the jury have more confidence on those companies that already have venture capital to take them to the next step. But it's not so difficult. I want you to give some data. You can see that Spain is in the 4th place. So yes, it's difficult, but these results show that if you fit with this profile, it's probably the best instrument, public instrument for you to develop your company and grow and scale up your business.
Esther,
Yes.
you have one or 2 minutes.
Just to I give you this information in order to know what areas are more difficult during the interview, in order to complete and try not to do the same errors as others. And just to finish, we are here to support you. If you are a Spanish company, CDTI, our national contact point for this instrument, we can do meetings, bilateral focus meeting with you. We support with the review of the bids, and we also carry out mock interview in order to support you. So thank you very much. We are here to guide you through the process. If you are from another country, this national contact point are in all the countries, so you only have to look for who is the responsible in your country for this support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Esther. We'll quickly jump straight into Thomas from the Research Council of Finland, and looks like you're ready.
Yes, I'm
Away you go.
ready, and I'm trying to not to have so much chit chat because I have 2 instruments to present in 10 minutes. So let's see. So I'm going to tell you about EIC Pathfinder and EIC Transition. Just as an overview, so the EIC is situated in Pillar 3 in Horizon Europe. So yes, so it's a very ambitious initiative, and there's lots of funding going in, and the idea behind the EIC is that it would be an instrument that would include everything from basic research to innovation and supporting small companies to grow. So we went a little bit backwards, as Esther told, about accelerator first, but basically it's Pathfinder, Transition, and Accelerator inside EIC. And I have listed budgets down there, and about 2026, we don't know the budget yet, so the EIC makes the work programs annually. So each year they make the work program for the next year, and for 2026 it will be in the autumn. So you need to wait for specific rules for next year. So Pathfinder is for early stage research on breakthrough technologies, and then again Transition is the step behind after proof of principle towards then going and applying for accelerator. So that is And you will get this information, so that's why I'm hurrying through this. Yes, so let's go into Pathfinder in a little more details. So Pathfinder includes both Pathfinder Open and Pathfinder Challenges, and Challenges is not kind of that it would be a challenge to apply for it, but it's a challenge, so it's a thematic funding always. So the deadline is in red, so for this year you are too late to apply for Pathfinder Open, but Pathfinder Challenges is still available, but more information later. But in Pathfinder, so do you have a vision of a future technology? So that's what will be the future, and what not what is the reality today. So it's about achieving a scientific breakthrough with this instrument. And also you need to have a consortium in Pathfinder Open with a minimum of 3 participants from different member or states or then associated countries. So if you are thinking about applying from Pathfinder Open, please look at the gatekeepers. So this is kind of, if you don't fulfill the gatekeepers with your idea, then it's not, don't bother applying. So these 3 gatekeepers must be met in your project if you're thinking of applying for Pathfinder Open. So as I said, Pathfinder Open, it's the next deadline will be next year. It's for early stage and interdisciplinary research about new technology and with a bottom-up approach. And as I said, it's the early stage, so you aim towards proof of principle. And the minimum requirement is 3 partners from 3 different countries, so either member countries or associated countries. But usually 3 is not enough, so that's too little for the consortium. So they usually have, I think the average is between 5 and 7. The proposal itself, so where you describe your projects, is 20 pages, and as a new service, the Commission is providing this annotated template, so you can see what to fill in your application. So you can find those on the EIC website or links to them. The grants, I have put already 4 million here because I hope that the idea that they will increase the budget to 4 million also for the Pathfinder Open for next year will be realize. At the moment, yep, it's 1-step submission, and then I put the call deadline, and it should say 2026. So, but I would imagine that it will be, the deadline will be in 2026 in May. Yes, and they will be evaluated on excellence, impact, and quality. Then about the challenges, so they are thematic calls, so a sort of top-down approach, but you propose bottom-up your own ideas within this instrument. What is special here is that these portfolios or challenges are managed by program managers that are they work for the EIC, and they have a larger role in this. So if you get funded within the Pathfinder challenges, you are also expected to participate in the program portfolio activities. That means that you need to actively communicate and to participate in the activities there. And they also have then, let's first look at the challenges, and then I'll tell about the evaluation after that. So these are the 4 challenges that are open for 2025. And I have underlined there that for each of these challenges, there are separate challenge guides. So there is the EIC work program that has information about the call, but then for each challenge, there's a separate guide. And you need to read the challenge guide also, because that guide always includes some information that is not in the work program itself. So it's essential if you're applying to look at the challenge guides. So the same accepted towards proof of principle is what is sought from the projects. In this case, even single legal entities can apply, but then you need to check that from the challenge guides. There might be some special cases where they say in the challenge guide that even if normally challenges you can apply as a single legal entity, in this challenge you need to be a consortia or something like that. So you need to check the special conditions from the challenge guide. The proposal is a little bit longer. The funding is lump sum funding in this case. One-step submission, and then the evaluation is the panel's core and then portfolio aspects. And this means that the program managers will participate in the evaluation and kind of look at which project will be ultimately funded so that the mix of projects within a portfolio will be appropriate. So it might be that the top 3 gets funded first, but then if the 4th project is the same as kind of includes the same kind of research that the project number 3, then they might jump over that one and take the next one or so on. So that you need to be aware of. The deadline is in October. Then I have a couple of minutes. So EIC transition. So that's the next step. So from TRL 3-4 to 6, so to develop market readiness. But the idea is if you are applying for transition, you need to base your project on a previously funded, or the results must build on previously EU funded projects. In short, if you have a Pathfinder project, FET, so that was in Horizon 2020 Future and Emerging Technologies project, European Defence Fund or ERC proof of concept project funds results that you're using. But in the work program, there are all the kind of details who are eligible to apply, and on the EIC website you can also find an Excel file that includes each eligible project. Yes, what you get, and I have put a line over challenges, so due to budget cuts there are no challenge calls in transition this year. So there are only transition open calls this year. The funding is from 500,000 to 2.5 million for 1 to 3 years. Lump sum deadline is in September. There's also an annotated template for the application, so you can look there for more. And then if you pass the evaluation, there's still an interview phase here. And there's the link to the eligible projects for funding also. So please look at the website. And then I've put some other useful links here on this page, and you get the material after this one, so you find them there. Then I've used all my 10 minutes for these 2 instruments. Thank you.
Good job, Thomas, on timing there. But thanks for that. And as we've said, we'll share all this information afterwards. Jump straight into the next ones. We have Benjamin Lopez, who's the CEO of the Water for All Partnership. I can see you're online. Are you here, Benjamin?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. We can hear you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Scott, and for inviting waterfall in this very good event. I will briefly present you Waterfall partnership. You can go to the next slide, please. So Waterfall is a European partnership developed under the Cluster 6 of the Horizon Europe program. It addresses all the freshwater-related domain, and it aims at developing strong researchers in this domain, and also it aims at facilitating the transfer of this research to the end users. This partnership started in June 2022 for a decade, maybe a bit more, and it put together more than 90 partners today with research ministries, funding agencies, research organization, networks, European networks, but also national, regional networks. And we put together also some economic actors to facilitate the transfer of the research and innovation to the to stakeholders and also end users. The Waterfall partnership is shaped in 3 phases, and we are now elaborating the 3rd phase that will start in June 2026. The expected budget for all the partnership is approx 400 million euros. We have mainly European countries, but not only, and you can see on the map that in the partnership we have some other non-European countries like Brazil, South Africa, etc. You can go to the next slide, please. So in Waterfall, we have 5 main activities in 5 main work packages. Sorry. The first is the joint vision and strategic research innovation agenda, in which we aim at developing and identifying the research gaps mainly, and we are writing a research and innovation agenda that constitutes the backbone of the project. We have a pillar dedicated to the development of research, mainly by launching joint transnational calls, and I will give you more information afterward on that. We have a work package on the internationalization and 2 work packages dedicated to the transfer to science, policy, end users, and also to demonstrate the solution efficiency, notably with the development of some water living labs, and also supporting the development of a platform that put together solution providers and problem owners. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. One word about our strategic research innovation agenda. You can download this document, this strategic document, in our website. You can find in this document 5 main scientific topics and also 2 cross-cutting issues about the internationalization, cooperation, and about the governance. This is an ongoing process, and we are working on a new version of this strategic agenda, and we expect the new version for January 2026. Next slide. In Waterfall, we have joint transnational calls. We launched a call each year from the beginning, from 2022. So the first call was on the management of water resources in hydroclimatic extreme events. We funded 27 projects with this call for 27 million euros. In 2023, we launched a call on aquatic ecosystem services. 23 projects are funded with this call for 27 million euros. In 2024, we launched a call on water for circular economy. We are in the process of the evaluation of the proposals, and we expect 34 million euros for this call. In 2025, we will very quickly and soon we will launch a call on water and health, and I will give you some details afterward on that. And for the third phase, we aim at launching 2 new calls in 2026 and 2027. The terms are not fixed right now, but we are working on that. And we are thinking about launching a demonstration call, but we are reflecting on the modalities for this call. I recommend you to download the booklet of the funded projects, the 2 first calls. You can find also this material, this document in the website of Water for All. And in that, you can find all the information, the summary information of the project funded with the first 2 calls of Water for All. So some additional information about the Water and Health upcoming call in 2025. This call will cover the water and health topic. You can find it in the strategic research and innovation agenda of Water for All. We will focus more on 2 sub-themes: behavior and effect of contaminant of emerging concern, plastics, endocrine disruptors, and all the contaminants that are present in fresh water. And we also want to dedicate some research project on the innovative water tools and technologies development for water quality monitoring and water treatment, remediation, and disinfection. This is also related to other strategic research and innovation themes of Water for All, especially groundwater management, the development of methods for more efficient citizens and wider stakeholders and engagement, and the support of the adoption of innovation. The potential budget for this call is 32 million euros. This is a 2-step evaluation process. We will fund the 36 months project, and companies are highly invited to join consortium in that project. The timeline, the call will open on mid-September, and the first 3 proposals are expected for mid-November 2025. So it is still possible for you to join consortium and to think about proposals for this call. You can go to the next slide. So in Water for All, we launch calls for developing research, but we have also in-kind activities to engage scientists to facilitate the transfer of the research through the policy, the stakeholders. We also have in-kind activities to connect problem owners with solution providers, to better communicate with society and economic actors, to educate young people, and to increase the international visibility. I will not go much into details in that activities, but this is another way to collaborate in Water for All. And with the other slide, if you can, yes, thank you. If you are a funding agencies, you can collaborate with Water for All in supporting the joint transnational goals. And if you are a research organizations, a network, a clusters, or local authorities, you can also participate to Water for All, especially in the additional activities. So you can apply to the joint transnational call, but you can also become a partner, so a full member of the Water for All partnership, and participate to be involved in the additional activities. So for all the information, you can see in the last slide We have a website on which you can find plenty of information. You can subscribe to our newsletter, and you will receive plenty of information. We have a video presentation of Water for All, so I highly recommend you to go on the website and to find all the information, the additional information of the Water for All partnership. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks, Benjamin. And a number of the partners in CircInWater, Water Smart Connect, but we are partners as cleaners in Water for All. So you can always reach out to a local partner to understand a little bit more about this partnership. So thanks, Benjamin. Now we go quickly on to Nikolina Nashka from ESMEA. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hello, everybody. I don't know if you you can see my video because I'm having some issues. It comes and goes, so yeah.
No, we can't, but it's okay.
It blocks, yeah, it comes and goes. Apologies for the video. Maybe I will continue. I can share the presentation if possible. So if it's okay with you, or I can mention the slides, because to be on time, maybe I can skip some of the slides. So whatever works for everybody.
Yeah, please do share.
Okay. Yeah, you can see the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind invitation, and it's a pleasure to be among you. Congratulations to all the projects that showcase their achievements and successes so far. It's really great to see. I will go briefly through the European Innovation Ecosystem Work Program and also mention some other opportunities of funding from the Horizon Europe 2025 Work Program, which could be of interest for the colleagues and for the water sector. And then we can have a discussion later if need be, or I can provide more information. Some of the information in the slides has already been covered by some of the previous speakers, so I will not go into too many details. So now the European Innovation Ecosystem Work Program of this year has two main actions, two destinations, so Destination Connect and Innov SMEs that was already presented by Camila earlier. The actions under the Connect destination focus on building interconnected and inclusive innovation ecosystems across Europe. So they try to draw on the strengths of national, regional, and local ecosystems, as well as encouraging the involvement of all actors and territories. So this is of particular interest also to some of the projects which have local and regional authorities in their consortia. So for this action, the action supports the flagship on accelerating and strengthening innovation in European innovation ecosystems, as well as addressing the innovation divide of the new European Innovation Agenda. The Innov SME destination, Camila mentioned it. I would like to add one part of the partnership, which is InnoWide, which I think could also be interesting for some of the projects that presented or other colleagues active in the water sector. So InnoWide funds SMEs to explore international markets when their products are ripe for internationalization. It's a relatively small program, a small action, but is of a lot of interest if you want to explore international markets in Africa, Asia, South America, etc. And given that water is a very interesting and very high priority sector in specific markets, I think this could be also something that you could explore. And then other parts of the work program, of course, we have preparatory actions for setting up joint programs. These are schemes designed to promote cooperation across Europe by developing common programs and activities. There is some information here on the targeted duration of the projects and the scope. Of course, it's a continuation of the previous topics from the previous work program of innovation ecosystem. I will spend some time on the regional innovation valleys. The call is open already. This is also of specific interest, as I mentioned earlier, because many of you have regional and local authorities among your consortia. So this is a co-funded action plan for the connected regional innovation valleys. It requires the participation of at least 3 national or regional authorities as beneficiaries from at least 3 member states or associated countries, where one is representing a moderate or emerging innovator region and another, at least one, representing a strong innovation leader. For this work program, so the continuation from the previous call, we have already so far 147 regions that have the label, but it's not necessary to have the label to participate in the call. So the regional innovation valleys are a proven model to build regional ecosystems and connect them together. So there are synergies with the cohesion funds and Horizon Europe. The particularity here is that the participants would need to bring to co-fund the project. So 50% of the total project cost will have to be will have to come from another an alternative financial resources. So here, I mean, involving regions with lower innovation performances, building on strategic areas of regional strength and supporting the 5 main EU priorities. This also, the sector is also interesting in the regional innovation valley calls. Here, just to go through the main target audiences, the main participants for the regional innovation valley call, and the importance of having smart specialization strategies, something that we have seen reflected in a number of projects supported by European Innovation Ecosystem call. Already the Water Smart Connect is very much active in the same area and involved in these smart specialization strategies. So here, under this work program, we have, of course, we have the mirror call. We have the one on European Innovation Ecosystem, but as well we have the mirror call on the WIDERA work program. And here the particularity of this one is that a widening country would need to be in the lead for the regional innovation call of the WIDERA. So there was a lot of interest. So there are 2 mirror calls under 2 different programs. We have also, at the same time, synergies expected to be achieved also through the linked calls in the 2 clusters mentioned here, cluster 4 and cluster 6, on system experimentation for Industry 5.0, as well as cluster 6.1, operationalization of bioeconomy sustainability principles. So this is some information more for the interested participants for the call. So the opening date is already open. So if you intend to apply, I guess you already have started work or looking for partners. So these are all the main information to pay attention to. Who can apply? I already mentioned. So the minimal eligibility requirements, regional national authorities, quadruple helix actors, and the possibility to provide 50% co-funding. Co-funding can come from private resources, other public funding, etc. Only 50% is funded by EU funds. Here again, the eligibility conditions on the consortium requirements, budgets, letter of intent, what is needed. You can find all this information in the different in the funding and tenders portal and the different call texts. So I will not go through this. I guess the presentation will be distributed. I put also on this slide some relevant calls for the sector. from the Horizon Europe Work Programme 2025. You are aware, of course, of the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. So maybe some of these calls are of interest for you. In most of these, of course, there is a focus on innovation, on support of SMEs and innovation actions. So it could be interesting also to explore these calls. As was mentioned earlier by the colleagues, please do not hesitate to also contact your NCPs for the missions or for the partnerships who can accompany you or provide more information on how to apply to these goals. Cluster 6 I already mentioned, so we have also these two calls on strengthening water resilience and land, oceans and water for climate actions. All this information, of course, is in the work program. This is just to highlight and for you to keep in mind the different opportunities being provided here. European Partnership Water for All, it was already mentioned. It's and also the last one is, of course, the opportunity on from the new kick of EIT, new kick on water, marine and maritime sectors. Also, they will have a startup grant for 5 million available. So deadline is approaching. If probably some of you are already preparing applications, if not, there is still just a bit of time. Yeah, these are some interesting links for your information. Then scaling up deep tech ecosystems is another part of the work program. So here there will be support for development and interconnection of open innovation infrastructures. This will be research and innovation actions, so TRL 2 to 6, where research infrastructures will be part of the consortia. So if you or some of your partners are interested, of course, please look also at this opportunity. European Network of National Competence Centers for Innovation Procurement is another CSA that is part of the work program. This aims to reinforce capacity building and expand previous network of national competence centers. So maybe some of you are interested in this specific call. Expanding investment ecosystem, this is another part of the work program. So this tackles the lack of later stage funding and partners for expansion to foreign markets, to international markets. Again, it's a special focus for the widening countries, for startups from the less connected and developed innovation ecosystem. So maybe some of your project partners coming from these emerging or moderate innovator regions, they could be interested in this call. This was already covered by my colleague, the European Partnership for Innovative SMEs. So you have all the information in her presentation on the coming calls, on the eligibility criteria and all the specific deadlines for the call. It's a very interesting partnership that we hope it will grow even further. So this is the end. I will stop sharing, but I also have, because I looked at a number of other opportunities on the sector that are coming from other funding programs, which I didn't manage to put on the slide. I think I still have one minute. So I have here European Investment Bank Water Innovation Loans. So there are 15 billion in loans. And they are designed to leverage private investment, aiming to mobilize an additional 25 billion, especially for scaling prototypes or deploying infrastructure. LIFE program is also another program offering grants for projects fostering the shift to a low carbon climate resilient economy, including water management, pollution prevention, and ecosystem restoration. So the program often funds smaller scale and demonstration projects. Of course, the regional funds, structural and investment funds, these are very, very important. We also run as part in the agency, as part of the European Innovation Ecosystem Unit, my unit, we also run the interregional innovation investment calls, which are co-funded by the ERDF. So there probably some of you have applied to some of the project or have benefited, but this is also another important funding program to explore further. And then we have InvestEU and Blue Invest, which provides financial instruments and advisory support for SMEs in the blue economy sector, so especially marine and water technologies. They include blending grants and loans for market deployment. PRIMA is another partnership which focuses mainly on Mediterranean water and agri-food system. Some of the colleagues that spoke, or some of the funding agencies that spoke, are also members of PRIMA. I see CDTI, that was the previous speaker. So the partnership was extended. It's until 2028 now. So it has a budget of almost €500 million, 495 million euros, to support water and agri-food system in the whole Mediterranean. And not to forget, of course, are the national, regional, and private foundations that you already know, exploring the national funding, supporting all the different water innovation activities. So this was, I think, in a nutshell, on all the different opportunities. I didn't want to stick only to the European Innovation Ecosystem Work Programme. We do not have to see it in isolation. There are a number of funding opportunities and European funding programs, as well as others, where the colleagues can look into all the different opportunities for funding.
Thanks, Nicolina, and yeah, good overview. Lots of potential here, and as you mentioned, Water Smart Connect has been a funded project under the Connected Ecosystems. So I know some things are spinning out for some of the calls you mentioned there from this project. But we are running late, so hopefully people can stay on. But we have Marcos from EMIDA that will present just quickly on some private funding. Are you here, Marcos?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect.
Thank you for the presentation and for inviting me to participate in this event. I try to be brief, to end in more or less in time. Just before to start, I want to say that unlike the other cases, we are not representatives of these investment instruments, these private investors that I am going to talk about. This is part of our activity in Water for All that is related to informing innovators and walls about the financial instruments that they can use to get finance. And in the end, you will have a link to access the documents we are continuously preparing. So starting the first, next please, the first, I have ordered the investors according to the stage in which they can be used. First, we have the startup incubators. It's a commonly used type of, let's say, financial instrument that is not exactly financial. They are programs or organizations that support early stage companies, and they provide resources as mentorship, training, workspace, sometimes funding, but just sometimes funding. So this is a tool that can be used, but in comparison with other type of investment, they require to have prior funding because they don't provide financial resources. They provide another resources that can be useful. There are some points that will be common for all the investors. In the end, these investors are private, so they always want the business to succeed. They want financial benefits. So they are always looking for a trustworthy management team capable of managing risk and developing a robust business plan based on an innovative product. So this is a common point to all types of investors. And I won't stop about this in every type because this is something common. And then as well is business angels. In this case, it's an individual who invests his or her personal funds and expertise in early stage startups. So this is mixed. They provide both funds and expertise. The structure to do this is equity. They require in exchange part of the ownership of the company in which they are investing. So they provide funds to get the resources that the company needs to continue the development of the innovation, but also provide expertise in the form of, for example, the knowledge of the sector, of contacts, for example. And the next one, we have the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is more a method, a financial instrument more than an investor per se. This is a way to raising more or less small amounts of money, but this small can be from just several thousand euros to several million euros. But the idea is to raise the money from many people. So this depends who to do this depends on the public to get the funding. If the objective is to raise financial resources from private investors, the criteria to get the funding will be the same with the other investors. But if it's a reward-based demand, a reward-based is a demand, a customer approach. So in this case, the innovative product will be near to the commercialization, and the idea of this will be to avoid asking for money to banks or other investors, avoiding to pay in terms of equity or debt, maybe of interest, and to, let's say, pre-sell the product to the customer before the development has finished. So it's a way the customer provides the company with money before the end of the development of the innovation, but at a slightly lower price compared to the market price. And the other type is donation-based, but this requires that the innovation has a strong environmental or social element that some donor considers that is necessary to implement and contributes to the implementation, asking for nothing in exchange. And the next one that can be used in the early stage of the development of a startup or an innovation is venture capital. In structure is similar as business angel. In fact, that business angel is a type of venture capitalist. But they are very particular. In venture capital, their expertise is also relevant, but not as important in the case of the business angels. But the structure is the same. So they provide resources in exchange for equity to high growth startups. So the idea, their way to gain value is to impulse the growth of the startup, of the company, and with the increase of value of the company, they earn the money. So they want financial benefits, and this is the way. So they always look for business models, robust business model, able to generate benefits in the future and to allow to grow the company. If we advance a bit in the process, next slide, please. We have growth and debt capital. This can be used in a different moment. Debt capital can be used maybe slightly before the commercialization of the product, and growth after this commercialization. In both cases, the development of the innovation has been finished. It's needed to be ended to apply for this type of investors. The growth capital implies that you aim to expand. You need to have a proven business plan and a customer base, and to, let's say, demonstrate that the business is going to increase. And this is what they want to see: a growing business that is going to increase the value of the company, and is that the way the growth capitalist is going to earn money. The structure of the investor is the same: equity, and they provide expertise and financial resources, but for a different stage. In this case, they are focusing on growth. In the other case, they are focusing on the development of the business model and managing risks. Next one. And the strategic partnership and is similar to the startup incubators. They are not providing financial resources. A strategic partnership, that is, there are a lot of cases, is a mutually beneficial arrangement between two or more organizations, and they collaborate. They share resources, expertise, or capabilities to achieve aligned business objectives. But they are independent. They don't give equity in exchange. They don't sell money, and then there are no financial flows. This is sometimes hard to achieve a good strategic partnership because you need to have aligned objectives, complementary interest and resources, and you need to put a lot of effort in coordination, in sharing all the resources. But this is a way of getting the resources you need to develop your company or your business model or to growth in collaboration with another company in a complementary situation. But it's not, it's like the startup incubator, an instrument to get the resources, the needed resources without losing the ownership of the company. And next, please. The last one, it's not a private instrument, but it works in a similar way in terms that you need to apply a customer approach. The public procurement of innovative solution is when the public sector uses its purchasing power to adopt innovative solutions not available on a large commercial scale. This is they are in the latest stages of the development, and it's a way the public sector invests its resources in a way that facilitated the final development of the innovation and also achieve the modernization of public services. But to get funding through this way, the company of the innovator must have a customer approach and have an innovation that is something necessary for the public sector. And just to end, the next one, we have just a figure about in which stage of the development of an innovation every of these instruments and some additional Horizon Europe, Life, Prima, the Just Transition Fund, in which stage they can be used. And that's all in the next slide. Thank you very much. And through this link is also the Water for All partnership link. You have all the deliverables we are preparing about maybe informing innovators about the financial instruments and the priorities of the public sector.
Super, thanks, Marcos. As we said, we'll share all these slides afterwards. Obviously, we went through this quite quickly. Marissa can move on. Obviously, we're running a bit late, but there is a couple of things we would like to share, next steps that we can maybe get through quite quickly. We'll just share a little bit around some of the projects that are supporting this Winning Days today. So I'll present Water Smart Connect, which was being mentioned just previously. I don't know, Marissa, can you move forward? Next slide. This is a project that has been funded under the Connected Ecosystems funding under the Horizon Europe project, and it's actually coming to an end this month, but it's been 7 European regions that has been working basically to look at the value chains and ecosystems within a water smarts society perspective and looking at cross-regional actions. Can you move forward? We've used this 3-step approach based on looking at key R&D topics based on regional needs and competences. I'll share the regions in a minute, and then taking those into using a methodology into this cross-regional actions, doing some matchmaking. I think some of the people on this session would maybe have been involved in some of these activities. And we have just created a long-term joint action plan, and we are having some final events next week on this. We are, as you can see, 6 partners covering 7 regions across Europe. We have Aquanova in France, that covers 2 regions, Catalonia Water Partnership in Spain, Zinai, so Marissa here in Aragon, Spain, Water Alliance from Frisian in the Netherlands, myself, Clean, and representing Zealand and Denmark. And we also have Finland and Savonia, University of Applied Science, and the cluster there. Next slide. This is slightly linked, and we've managed to link this this project into the International Clean Tech Network, which some of these clusters that was presented there are part of. This is a broader sense global network that has been giving some feedback and inputs into the process, especially widening it outside the 7 regions. Next slide. I'll quickly get into some of the outputs. And basically, we have come to a conclusion of 3 overall topic areas, and we've started to define some short, long-term, mid-term actions based on the input from all the stakeholders. One of the main areas has been water quality, pollutant management and prevention. Here we've been looking at contaminants of emergent concern, treatment technologies, monitoring digital tools, environmental protection, and looking at natural water bodies and wetlands. This is just an example, this table here, of some of the types of actions, a bit of description and who it's relevant for. We have a big joint action plan that we will be sharing. But this is just an example you can see here. I won't go through them. Keep going. Next slide. Second topic area is climate change and adaptation. This has been identified as looking at extreme weather events and nature-based solutions and protection tools. Again, we have put together some actions. This is just a small subset of examples here. And we have, just to let you know, we've aligned some funding mechanisms to these action plans, or basically long, short, mid-term actions as well. And the final area was the water-food nexus, which is identified precision irrigation, reducing chemical runoffs, and adaptation to climate change in the food systems. Again, you can see some of the ideas around some of the actions and who it's relevant for. Next slide. This is maybe something you can scan the QR code. We are actually hosting next week. It's a hybrid event in Copenhagen, the final event for Water Smart Connect, and we will present the formal joint regional action plan and showcase some of the concrete steps that we will be taking based on the ecosystems that's now working together. So please do sign up. I said it's hybrid. The first hour will be online, and then we'll be doing a physical activity in Copenhagen, showing some infographics that kind of explain a little bit more about some of the actions that we would like to embed into some of the regional authorities, etc., etc. But we have some working groups, some of the funding programs that were presented in the last hour. There is some stakeholders that through this project are now working on building consortia on, so there's been a lot of actions coming out of this now. That was just quickly on Water Smart Connect. I know, Marissa, you are going to present next.
Yeah, thank you very much, Scott. Yes, you already see the result of the CircInWater project related to the innovation. Just really quickly also mention that the CircInWater project, we were working from 5 regions in Europe. We have Finland with 2 clusters, the Blue Economy Mikkeli and Water Cluster Finland. In the Netherlands, Water Alliance. We have also in the Czech Republic, the CREA, the Hydrogen Energy Cluster, and also ICOT, the Innovation Center of the Olomouc region. We have in France the Pôle de Compétitivité Aquanova, and in Spain, FINAE. And then I already explained this, maybe some figures of the results. As you see, we have 12 innovation projects with the participation of 16 SMEs. We have also 40 knowledge projects. That I mentioned before that there was support to have expert of trainings, and then 19 internationalization projects to develop internationalization activities in USA and Canada. Also, we have 52 experts. We create a pool of experts to support the SMEs that offers 83 services. And we organize, this is the fourth winning days, and we have more than 250 participants. And then for our long-term actions, we can just organize in four pillars. One is just to keep collaborating with other EU projects. For instance, projects already in implementation, like this collaboration that we have with Water Smart Connect, but also with an I3 project that is Green Step, that is working in the energy intensive industry. That it was one of the industrial ecosystems that CircInWater was working, and also in future funding opportunities. For instance, the new Eurocluster that CircInWater is an Eurocluster that will be also soon new Eurocluster with a lot of cascade funding opportunities that for sure will be for the water sector too. And then we also have we were already seeing the other EU initiative, that is the Water for All, that we see before, but also Water Smart Territories, that is a smart specialization platform where more than 25 regions are participating and collaborating since 2019. And then services, we will develop a resilience plan for SMEs. Is a guideline, a simple template just to help the SMEs also to be ready and to develop the business continuation plans in case of and to afford different risks and that they can occur. And then also we will follow doing the water innovation networking days and promoting the funded project in different networks. I think just to finalize, just to say that we are already a team of a lot of water clusters collaborating together, collaborating with other water initiatives, and then just to thanks to all the CircInWater team for all the work during this time, and also I mentioned before to our PO, to Zoran, for all the support. Thank you very much. That's it for my side. And then from my side is ready, Scott. So then now maybe Reese could
Yes, I would like to highlight a next step we set up together, because we are in several projects together with a lot of cluster organizations. So together we cover a huge network, and we would like to take advantage of that. So that's why we set up a matchmaking platform using B2. I will try to share it, I think, in the chat, the link, but I don't think that's...
So, Reese,
we
you
try
are
to set up a
muted now?
matchmaking platform. Yeah, my microphone gets muted all the time, so I hope you can hear me again. But yeah, we set up a matchmaking platform so that you can meet potential partners or whatever you need. You can put that in your profile. So the first few people already signed up. So if you're looking for something to find partners or whatever you need, please make a profile and connect with others. This platform is open until the 20th of June to give you the opportunity to plan online meetings with others. So hopefully to see you there as well. And I would like to give the floor back to Marissa.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I think that sorry for the delay, but there was a lot of contents today, and thank you very much for all all the speakers, and thank you, Scott and Reese, also for being just in the organization today. I don't know, Scott, did you want to say something else from...
I'd say, thanks to everyone. That was very interesting. A lot of info. I guess we'll share all this info afterwards. That was quite a lot to process. And yeah, as I guess Marissa says, the clusters, we work closely together. You can always reach out to your local cluster if you need some action or input to something. So look forward to hearing from some of you and seeing you in the Beta Match platform. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you
very
all.
much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
for
Bye.
listening.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, everybody. See you soon. Thank you again. Bye-bye.